All right, everyone, we are here. We've made it to week 4. How many of you had a longer September than normal with everything that we have been doing? Yes. What's exciting to me is, and I even will admit, I am behind on the things I've been working on, and yet I'm so much further ahead than I would have been if we were not doing this challenge. So first, I want to take a minute and I just want to thank all of you for going on this journey with me. We are going to jump right in. We are going to cover, I wanted to go into a little bit more detail about structuring your channel. I also wanted to go into giving you another example of another agent that has structured their channel in a way that I think would be one that you could R&D. And then I also wanted to jump in a little bit on how the editing, the flow, the scheduling is going. So I thought we could talk about that a bit. And I'm going to say the P word, I believe for the first time. I want to start talking about promotion. Nearly everyone who's on here today, I'm looking at the faces and you guys have started and you're at some degree of making it happen. So we are going to start about promotion, and promotion is going to be part of each week's call from here moving forward. And I also thought it would be fun if you guys could jump in the chat and just start putting how many subscribers you have. And every week we can put that in there again and see, are we having growth? I want to mention one thing about subscribers as we're here at the beginning, because I may forget to mention it later. And any of you who have done this either on YouTube or with other social media platforms, please chime in if you confirm what I'm going to share. And if you have a different perspective, let me know as well. You want your subscribers to increase. I am telling you that they will increase, they will go down, they will go up again, you will lose one. You'll check it in the morning and it's one thing, you'll look at it at the afternoon and it's another. Please remember, this is a long-term progression. So even though we want to start checking it once a week to say, hey, am I getting traction? Am I moving ahead? Please do not get hung up if someone unsubscribes from you. If you are like me, you probably used to use your YouTube channel for something else, karaoke. And so you had people that were following you for karaoke, and if all of a sudden you're posting videos that are too long with a bunch of awesome agents from all around the country about developing a YouTube channel, guess what? I'm going to have some unsubscribes. Do not attach emotional equivalency to it. It doesn't matter, and move ahead. Is there anyone, and this is for any of it, followers, likes, friends, whatever. Could someone that has a lot of social media experience that relates to what I'm talking to either confirm this or offer another perspective?
I have a perspective on this. I just want to throw out, because I've been on the radio for 10 years now. Not everybody's going to like it. You're putting yourself out there in front of other people, and they're not asking you to put yourself out there. You're asking to put yourself out there. So whatever opinion they have is the right opinion for them, and you just got to let it go and move on. And there's going to be some people that love you, and there's going to be some people that aren't going to love you, and it's okay. It's all okay.
That's right. All right, good. So the other thing I wanted to start off with, does anyone have a win they would like to share or something interesting that happened over the course of the last week? Or anything surprising or of note that anyone would like to share?
Well, I got 2 leads.
Great.
Yeah, I got 2 real phone numbers. They're real leads from videos I wouldn't have created if it wasn't from this class.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
All right. We're all going to take that Zoom room applause. Great job. And let's hope that within a few weeks, we have 7 of you saying the same thing, and then 14 of you, and it's just going to keep growing like a Breck commercial from the 70s. Let's hope that that keeps growing every week. Showing my age there with a old commercial reference. All the millennials are like, what's she talking about? All right, so we are going to jump in. As I had shared last week, I wanted us to share with a win, and then also I wanted to show you all a video that I thought was interesting from the videos that I watched of yours over the past week. So let's see, Keen, I'm going to ask if you could jump into the slide and share that link. It's on slide number 3. So Gary Nix, I don't know if Gary's on. Are you on here, Gary? Gary Nix is in Los Angeles, and he did a video that is all about gratitude. And I really thought that it was a compelling and interesting video. One of the things I liked about it, he almost incorporated sort of a bold law into a video for the public. So let's watch Gary. I will figure this out. At some point, I will figure this out. And let me, can we get that on YouTube?
You should.
All right, hold on. I will try to open it again.
While we're working on that, Bridget, I have a comment or question, I guess. The 100, all the different topic ones, is there any way that we can add a extra notes section? Like I was starting to sit there since I'm still in quarantine at home and start kind of putting in ideas. And I thought it would be good to kind of put your notes into, because it's hard to just put a label on something and not being able to explain it, if that makes sense.
Yes, everyone has full editing rights on that. So yes, absolutely, we can go ahead and do that. You guys can go in there and make it whatever you want. You all have full editing.
Awesome.
So I am really scared this is going to do that reverb. God bless.
Bridget, I can't hear it.
So you guys cannot hear that?
No.
Okay. The link's going to be in this subscription, in the slideshow. I'd really love it if everyone could look at that. It's a video, and he just talks about the importance of gratitude. And it's a very touching message where he also talks about his daughter. And it's one where he just posted it recently. Out of the videos he's posted, it's getting a lot of engagement. So I thought it was a good example of how you can reach out and engage people without necessarily just talking about real estate, or even just talking about what it's like to live in your area. That was a little interesting thing that's going to tap into a lot of different people. So I'm sorry, hopefully next week I'll figure out how to share that in a way that makes sense in our Zoom, and we will have a featured video we can actually see. All right, so let's jump straight in to what we're talking about today. And let me get you. All right, so this week, again, we've made it through these first 4 weeks. We're all at different stages of where we are with our channel. My goal today for us is to continue to create efficiencies in the process, to have a checklist from beginning to end for best practices on channel structure. Now, we talked about that last week. We are going to be continuing that conversation, and that's why that's still here. I also want us to be able to measure progress and success. And I saw a lot of you were putting your subscribers in the chat, so that's excellent. And then also I want us to brainstorm together to share more ideas about how to make this actually happen. So I want us to have almost like a little mastermind where you all can share what you're doing with editing, maybe what you're doing with promotion, what you're doing that's making it work. If you're facing any challenges, that we can share that and discuss that as well. So right now we are going to go into continuing the structure of your channel. So you want to have keywords on your channel itself. So many of you know that you want to have keywords on each video that you post. You also want to have keywords on your channel itself. So Jim, I know you are right here. I'm going to show you an example from our own group. Everyone say, hey, Jim. So Jim's here on the video with us today. He has put up a new banner, which he's still refining. Notice that it's a nice bold color. We've got that half body shot. I think all of that's great. But I want you all to take a look at, he actually created channel keywords. And he put that on his channel itself. So when you have the channel keywords on your channel, as well as channel keywords per video, can you see how long-term that is going to get you more engagement?
Bridget, are you trying to show us his YouTube? Because we're just seeing your slide.
Okay. So give me a second. All right, so here you can see his banner that I mentioned first, and that's still being worked on, but it's going in a good direction. He does, if you notice too, this is something I'm going to talk about as well. If you look at his banner, he has a radio show. So he has his radio show in his banner. He has his areas he covers. He's got his phone number. So, you know, he's trying to make it easily accessible. I know he's working on getting his links for his social media on there as well. But this, you can see, he has put channel keywords on his channel, and here are the keywords. So right now, I just want you all to add keywords to your channel structure itself. If you have Tubebuddy, you can do the keyword search and find the strongest ones for your area and for what you're doing. A couple of notes on that. You can also look at your competitors when you have Tubebuddy, and you can see what keywords they've used. Obviously, a competitor that's further ahead of you in developing a YouTube channel, you can copy that. If you look over here, it says copy keywords. You'll be able to copy those keywords and add them to your channel. So let's make sure that's one of the goals for this week, is I want all of you to add keywords to your channel itself and not just to your videos. Okay? You want them to be broad. You also want any niches that you have to put your niche as well. You want to put short tail and, long tail and short keywords. Make sure it is pertinent for what you cover. Be sure it's pertinent to what you cover. I say that because sometimes as you're on YouTube, you may hear this as a technique. People will say, well, just grab a keyword that has high engagement and stick it on your channel. If you do that and someone comes to you thinking they're going to get one thing and they get something different, they will bounce out quickly, which is damaging to you and the algorithm. Okay. So that's one. Now we want to go back to the structure, and I had a lot of questions on this during the week. You want to add the structure to your channel, and I found a channel that has great structure that I'm actually going to show you. And I wanted to just give you the topics of his different sections. So his sections, he has a very catchy topical video as his first video. Now, I'm not talking about the welcome video, just his first video on his page. Then he has a section moving to Florida. So obviously, any of you, fill in the blank, moving to Ohio, moving to Minnesota, whatever state you're in, make it the state. That's an area where I don't think we want to be niche. For the section, we want to be broad. I don't think any of you would complain if you got some leads for the other side of your state and you referred them to somebody and got a referral fee. I know I would not complain about that. So I am recommending fill in the state moving to. A second section is living in Florida. So that's where you can put all of your videos about local businesses, owners, secret pathways, karaoke bars, best Thai restaurants, dog groomers, Boy Scouts, how to get rid of paint, how to recycle batteries, all that stuff about living in your area can go in that section. Then there could be a section specifically about buying, selling, and investing in Florida. That is going to be for more of your videos that are attracting sellers, that are about the processes involved, what might be different in your area versus other states. But that's where you're going to put your videos that are very specific about buying, selling, or investing.
Bridget, wouldn't it make sense to have one that's for buying, one for selling, for one for investing, instead of having
You
them all?
certainly could. This is simply, I'm just giving you just an idea here. Because a lot of people were like, I don't know how to do the sections. So I just wanted to give some examples of sections. You could very well, Natalie brings up a good point. It could be selling in Georgia, buying in Georgia. You could also possibly have your moving to be the state, and then you could have selling or buying be your area. I would probably still make it larger. So for example, I see the Roscoe's are on here. I might not put Springboro, I might put the greater county area, because again, we want as much engagement and attraction as possible. And if it turns out we refer the business out, you refer it out. And then this E is something about, and I'm going to show this to you in a minute, but it's change your life. So the whole idea is if you're going to do videos about gratitude like Gary did, or if you're particularly passionate about someone creating change in their life or life by design, or you're going to put things about your travel or what you're doing with becoming minimalist or, buying Airbnb, whatever it is that you're passionate about outside of regular buying and selling, investing, feel free, make videos about it. Just have a different section for those videos. Another idea is to have an area of specialty specifically for you or your team. This is where all you luxury agents definitely have a luxury section. Have a section on flipping. Have a section on opportunities in, I don't know, buying properties at the courthouse. Like if you have a particular, that's where I think you could go super niche. That's where you can, really hone in. Maybe it's all about staging. Maybe it's about how you present properties, just something you do that might be different, part of what differentiates you. That would be great. We had a question come up. Yes, when I talk about structure, I'm talking about the sections of the videos. I'm going to share it here in just a minute. Many of you are building your downline. And if you're building your downline, great. Have a section on careers in real estate. Why not? So that's, so do you guys get more of a gist of what they could be?
Hey, Bridget, what is the catchy fresh topic video?
Getting ready to show you. It would vary everywhere. So for example, I was talking to a client in Seattle. The West Bridge is out and has been for about 18 months. It could be something about that. It could be top 5 mistakes people make when moving to Boston. It could be, just something that has a hook. So this guy, Michael Bordenaro, I just wanted to give you guys another example, and we want to thank, I believe it was Jim that brought him to my attention. So if you notice, nice bright banner. His banner is ultra simple. And it definitely, I don't know that I would jump straight to Florida, but it's got a Florida look to me. If you notice, he's got a good number of subscribers. So let's just look at his structure here. He's posted 291 videos. He is averaging He's had 108,000 views in the last 30 days. He also has, see what I'm talking about here? He's got channel keywords. So you can kind of look quality of life, Miami Beach lifestyle, Florida living, all that. Here's his catchy video. Living in Florida versus living in California. The biggest difference is explained. Does that give you an idea?
Got it.
So come up with
Very
something
smart. That's a very smart thing to do.
right. It would just have something catchy.
Because there's a lot of people from California that want to move to Florida, but they don't know the difference, or vice versa. So that's a great one.
A great hook.
Yeah, I
So
would watch it.
so something hooky.
Okay.
Yeah, hooky. We're all gonna play hooky. So now obviously YouTube, they put your popular videos at the top section. That's automatic. But here's where it says moving to Florida. Great. So all these videos in this section are all about moving to Florida. Living in Florida. This is where it gets more into that lifestyle. So notice he's got 10 best animals. People love animals. 10 things about Florida you probably don't know. So again, you want to put on your marketing hat. If you don't have a marketing hat in your closet, talk to someone who does. And just get these catchy, engaging topics. 7 reasons why people leave Florida. Jim brought up a good point last week where he was asking, is it going to be dangerous if I have a section that's Florida, D-U-H? And we're like, no, address it up front. If there's common myths or misconceptions about your state and where you live, address it head on, and just make it fun and engaging. Okay. This next section, buying, selling, and renting Florida real estate. Now, Natalie, you bring up a good point. Now, he chose just to put all of the real estate related in that one section. Absolutely feel free to create different sections on that if you would like. He's got financial education. So that's one that, you could make it wealth building. You could make it creating generational wealth or a legacy. And that's where you could really have a lot of information about wills, trusts, and estates, how real estate can impact your bottom line in terms of your overall net worth. But, you could have a section like that. Now, this guy, I thought this was interesting. So he has a section that's change your life for the better. You remember when we talked about thumbnails last week, and we talked about how you can have a different look in a subtle way for all of your different sections. So if you notice in his change your life for the better, most of his thumbnails, he's looking off in the distance. He's like a Michael Bolton album from the early 90s. So that's got that air of change your life for the better. His financial, he's making funny faces and thumbs down and oh, I'm relaxed. So it's a little bit more melodramatic in his financial education. He's got a little bit of a different look as well in his living in Florida, right? So they don't have to be dramatically different, but there are subtle differences. And when I dug into his channel even more, if you look at all the videos in a section, it does become really evident. There's some thought behind the different approaches. So he's got, apparently, he promotes Rakuten. If you want to put something on like that, you can. I would advise at this stage of the game that we probably would not in our channels. He's much further ahead than we are. He also has a second channel with a subscribe right here. That was interesting to me. And I'll tell you, and I'm a pretty major YouTubeaholic. That's the first time I've seen that. And I think that's a cool structure if you end up having a secondary channel. And then, of course, the shorts. Okay. So does that give you guys a better idea of how to create your sections?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Bridget.
Bridget, can you have too many sections?
No, because YouTube limits you to 12.
Ah, okay.
Now, built-in safety valve. So you cannot have too many.
I have
All
a
right,
question.
so
though. I think, would you know, I mean, and I have a marketing background. So one of the things I'm looking at right away is as we're creating sections, what makes me unique in terms of me as a realtor in Atlanta? I think this would be an opportunity for that. Obviously, I smoke cigars, so I might need to have one that says, you know, speakeasy and cigars or something like that, and have a whole part of the cigar network per se, even though it has to
absolutely.
be real estate.
Well, and when I think about you in particular, I believe you should also have a hat section, because that has become such a part of your presence and your you know, persona, and you have those strong relationships with the hat company, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you kind of you bring up something interesting. I'm actually going to move ahead. That's a pretty good segue. Well, we're going to come back to what you were just saying because it's further down, but remind me about that. It's like cross promotion. Okay. All right. So links. Yeah.
I'm sorry, just real quick. Somebody a little bit ago asked a question. How do you add the keywords to the channel?
Okay.
That was a little difficult. It took me a couple of YouTube videos. So let me just give you a really fast tip. You go into the account, you go into your account of the page, and then you go down to settings on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. You go down to settings, and then once you click into settings, you go into channel. And then you can go into advanced, and then you can put in your keywords. But you wouldn't think to go into your settings for that, but you got to go into your settings.
Right. That is true. Yeah. So, and we'll, Jim, you and I can connect later and we'll put together a little instructional 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we'll send that out to everyone. Oh, is that Patty? Yeah, Patty, we'll make sure you get it and we'll send it to everybody. Okay. So looking at your banner, which mine is also still in development, but we're going to talk here a little bit about make sure you have these certain things in your banner. You're going to want to have links that are live that actually work. I can't stress that enough. Make sure that they actually work. Have your mother test them or your best friend. Because I don't even trust when you do it yourself, because who knows what your browser does with your own things. So make sure that they work by someone outside of you, and only include ones that you or someone will be checking regularly. If you never, ever go into a platform, don't put the link there. I had to have a long talk with myself about whether or not I was going to put the LinkedIn thing, because I don't like LinkedIn. I never go to it. And so I decided yes, and I put it in my schedule. You'll know I'm calendar robot, so that's going to make me do it. And also the person I'm going to hire for promotion is going to take that over. But, you know, if you really do not use something, don't put your link to it in your banner. Go ahead and have your website. Jim, you had a good example of having your website there. I am revamping mine and we'll be including that as well. It's okay. So I've seen some where there's a contact form. So if you have a link with lead capture, you can put a sunburst or a link, you know, for more information up there, and it can take them straight to that lead capture form. Any of you, and I know several of you, are either advertising on TV, on radio, or about to be. Put that link on there as well. You know, that's something where we really want to tighten the ship and make sure you're taking advantage of all the different outlets that you have for promotion, and you're intertwining them when it makes sense. Again, the trend recently has been for either collage style banners or sort of clean lined banners. Faye, I really liked yours that you shared with me yesterday. I know you're still refining it. That might be a fun thing to do next week, would be all of us that have our banners sort of together. We could share banners and we could give feedback on how we believe they look and how they are. License numbers. So this is going to vary per state, and I had several conversations about it. For all of you in California, I should actually have that information for us fairly soon of exactly what we're required to do in terms of displaying our license number and our brokerage. It does vary per state. I am just going to ask all of you, send a quick email to your broker of record or go on your Department of Real Estate website. and look at the marketing requirements. Let's just make sure that we're not inadvertently, violating some of our license display or broker display information. I am in the process this weekend. I'll be adding it to the bottom of each video description. I'm also going to put it at the bottom of my banner. I'm also going to put it in my about page information. My license, actually, even though now I'm in Nevada, my real estate sales are still in California. And we all know California is special. I just don't want to get caught with any of that. And yes, I plan on putting it even on the items where I'm not talking about real estate, because I just don't want to fool around with it. If anything, I think it also just adds validity to anyone who might be binge watching you or looking at everything you have. It doesn't hurt to have your license number there. It just reinforces that you're a professional. But this week, I want all of us to double check what's required in your area. If you have an admin working on this, have them do that research. So are there any other questions specifically just around sections, structure, anything like that? Did we cover this fairly well? We're going to do Q&A overall later. I just wanted to, if there was a particular section or structure question, I just wanted to address it right now.
Bridget, what was the name of the Florida guy that you were showing his YouTube's channel?
Michael Bordenaro. I will put that in the email and description on the video.
Thank you.
Okay.
One of the interesting things about that Michael guy I checked out, he actually says in some of his videos that he really would prefer not to be a realtor and doesn't like the realtor life, and he's doing it to become an influencer. So what his big thing is, he just wants to grow so he can run, make his life off the advertising.
Yeah, I mean, there's things, when I checked him out, there's things I like, there's things I don't like. I would have a slightly different banner, although certainly who am I to question? He's further ahead in the journey than I am. I just really liked his sections. So am I saying, and I also liked the catchiness of many of his titles. But that's where I think, am I saying subscribe to him and do everything he does? No. However, I just really liked that component of it. Okay. So let's start talking about promotion. Everyone feel ready to start doing a little bit more promotion? In the research I've done and the training I've received, Grassroots is where it's at. What I mean by that is, please do not, I need all of you to pinky swear with me right now. Do not buy into any sort of like, we'll get you subscribers or, hire us and we'll do that. Don't do this. Grassroots is where it's at. The strongest YouTube channels that I'm aware of in our arena have been built by providing content on a consistent basis and promoting yourself through other channels that you have and where you have influence. So please resist the urge to be like, oh, I saw this thing online and it said that if I hired them, I'd get 500 subscribers tomorrow. You all know what a bot is, right? You don't need a bunch of bots as subscribers. So just trust the process and be patient, which myself and the majority of people that I attract as coaching clients, we're not known for our patience. So we're all going to kumbaya this thing and we're going to be patient. So I wanted to give you a couple of things that you can do right now to start your promotion yourself. First steps, a casual Facebook request as a favor. So very casual post, say, hey, could you do me a favor? And I mean this on your regular human being Facebook page. Could you do me a favor? Could you please subscribe to my YouTube channel? I'm currently revamping it. I'd love any feedback. Boom. I posted that about a month ago. I easily had, I think, around 30 people go short and jump in and subscribe. Are they all watching all my videos? No. Are they watching some of the old ones that were funny or my kid? Yeah. It doesn't matter. Remember, we're feeding data to a robot. So the robot just interpreted, oh, look, that bit of data attracted more bits of data. So that's a great place to start. You can email a request to your inner circle that is not active on social media. And again, very casual. It can be an email to, and so inner circle, you know, past client sphere, vendors, people that know and like you, and we all know our friends that are crotchety and not on social media or whatever. So, you know, reach out to them with an email, have the link right there, boom, you're going to get a response to that as well. Can you all hear me? Okay, so people are putting in the chat some of the techniques they're using on Facebook and in emails, so grab that. You also, in your mind, you want to create like a mini army of promoters across the country. So again, grassroots. So I shared with you all that my mother in Virginia, she subscribed and she's watching one of my playlists every day and she's sharing it with her friends. And then the great thing about these videos is she's asking me on the weekends about you guys. Oh, who's that guy in Florida? That was funny. Oh, that team in Houston. So she's just starting to look at all of you and is going to be checking out some of your channels as well. So she asked her best friends to do it and they're doing it as well. So is that going to lead to a listing or buyer lead tomorrow? Probably not. It might. The thing is, you are stimulating the algorithm at a high level right now. So feel free, you know, think of 5. Gary talks all the time and Quantum Leap talks about the 5 people that are your wealth determiners. Find people that are going to be your success determiners in this endeavor and just ask them if they will help you. You can also do another casual request on any other social media platform where you have influence. I do not, in my opinion, and if someone on here with more social media experiences disagrees, please type up and tell me. If you don't have influence on a platform, I don't think it's even worth the ask. It just, I don't think that would be a good use of a favor to call in. Okay. Natalie, we're coming back to you. So cross promotion. You can cross promote local businesses or organizations. If you're doing low, obviously you're going to put your featured business of the month there, but that's another time and another person that knows you. So it's still grassroots. And you can ask them to, hey, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to my channel? I'm going to be promoting you on YouTube all this month and probably beyond. So it's a way where it's a win-win and definitely can get you in front of some people that you don't know. So I think that would be excellent. Another element of cross promotion, as Natalie said, is have a section all about the Atlanta Cigar Group. Have a section about local businesses and then highlight your hat guy. So feel free to do that and then send them the links and ask them to subscribe. What's awesome about, if I do a video about, what's your hat guy's name, Natalie?
Christian Hat Company.
Okay. I do a video about them and I'm one of their main customers and I send them an email that says, hey, check this out. I just posted this video about you on YouTube. What do you think they're going to do?
Oh, they'll definitely tag that out on their social media too.
Absolutely. It's going to go out everywhere. And then their clients, their spouses, their family, they're going to see you and your smiling face shining a light on the business of people they love. So see how that's a way where this can be grassroots.
You're muted, Bridget.
Forgot to put on my do not disturb. Apologize for that. All right, so long-term view. We want to keep your eye on the long term. This ties in with that patience that we were describing. This is a crock pot. It is not a hot grill. This is slow and steady. You're going to win the race. Any of you that have heard Ken speak so far, you know that he says, I don't care. I'll teach anyone how to do it, because the number of people that will actually follow through is so small. Because we get in, we start it, we don't sell $1 million house 2 weeks later and we quit. So in your affirmations every day, every morning, say, I am lead generating, lead converting, and following my 3 main pillars and lead listing sources, and I'm developing my right now business right now, and I'm casting an eye to the future with what I'm building on YouTube. So just make sure that you're keeping your expectations in line and that you're developing the virtue of patience as you're doing this. Okay. And then again, Tubebuddy, and I know several of you are using it. It has been, if you want to cut the learning curve down and you want to actually get higher engagement and views on everything you're posting, again, I've now been using it, I guess, about 3 weeks, and it's making a remarkable difference in terms of subscribers and strong launches. So if you have questions about it, let me know. I'll talk to you about it outside of your coaching time. Jim, I know you've been pretty happy with it, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm driving. Yes, I've been very happy with it. And my channel keywords, by the way, guys, were stolen or borrowed from Bodnoro and Pozic.
Yeah, R&D.
Because why
Repeat and
reinvent the wheel?
duplicate, or rip off and duplicate.
Exactly, because and if you look at both their sites, if you really analyze their sites, they're so similar. Even though they're completely different personalities, very similar content, similar headlines, very similar keywords. I'm sure they're looking at each other's stuff. The keywords are so identical. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that TubeBuddy's very good for that. It's the first time I'm using a program like that because the other 2 programs I bought, they were so complicated I couldn't use them.
Right.
Bridget, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Because I heard Jim saying, it's duplicating what somebody else says but I'm wondering, is it kind of like the hashtags where you don't necessarily want to duplicate what somebody else is that has a bigger following and things of that nature, because you'll just disappear in that search? Is it better to start putting something that's maybe as robust, but it's not the same, if that makes sense?
Yeah, if you go in terms of your channel keywords, I think it does make sense to R&D because we know that consumers find you that way.
Okay.
In terms of each of your videos, that's where you may want to be a little bit more discerning, and you may want to add a couple of words. The thing I love about TubeBuddy is you're in your video, you're uploading it, you or your admin, and in real time, you're doing the search and you're changing a word and seeing how it changes the strength of that keyword. And then you just hit it, save, it auto checks everything to make sure you didn't forget anything. And so for me, it has made it remarkably faster. I can't wait to see what happens as I'm now getting my edited videos that will be uploaded. I can't wait to see what happens with a combination of the short videos with the right thumbnail and all of that. It's going to be pretty exciting. I think it's going to be interesting.
Absolutely. And as far as trying to duplicate it, you're going to get lost with the other people. You have to remember that what you're duplicating is like some of the words, but like Bridget put in, it's like buying, selling, investing in ... So Ken's going to be Orlando. Michael's going to be Miami. You're going to be whatever area you're in. So it won't matter as much.
Mm-hmm. So I think and I understand what you're saying, Natalie. I think for where we are right now, we just want to make sure we're putting keywords on the channel that consumers have used in the past, because consumers will keep using it again. When we look at consumer behavior, we know that for a fact. So, and then just make sure you add in more niche ones as well. Okay. So that, any questions about that in particular? So start your promotion. Do not be upset if people subscribe or not. So stay detached from the outcome and just start doing your promotion. Okay. All right, we're going to jump to, and I want this to be a pretty interactive discussion. So I wanted us to talk a little bit, now that we've all been doing this for 4 or 5 weeks now. I want to discuss how it's going. How much are you paying for editing? Who's doing it? are, what's happening with your schedule? Are you running into any stumbling blocks in terms of actually getting it done? Are you getting in your own head and recording something 12 times and then still deciding it's not good and throwing it away? I just wanted to dive in on that a little bit and see, does everyone know what B-roll is? Are you starting to get and store B-roll? Are you struggling with topics? So like, I wanted us to take, now that we've been doing this for a while, I wanted a little interaction where we can just discuss, how is it going?
What is B-roll?
What'd you say?
What is B-roll?
Okay, B-roll. So you want to get video of, so Gary Nix is a great example.
Backup.
He was all dressed in a suit and driving in his car through LA. I was like, have your assistant beside you getting video of you driving through Los Angeles. Look at not speaking. So B-roll is video that will be inserted into your videos of you walking through a front door, walking up and shaking hands with the owner of a florist shop that's hosting your event. Maybe it's just a close-up of you and someone else chatting, but it's not the sound. It is, so it's stock footage of yourself in your own town that you own and can control, that your editor can work into your videos.
Yeah, it stands
So-
for backup. The B in B-roll is backup.
Yes, that's what the B stands
You know
for.
what? That is fascinating
Yeah.
because I didn't do actually B-roll, but I did a video on the skinniest house here in Boston being sold. And I just did a bunch of other video, and I knew that I'd be able to copy, put copy into that once, and then I let Raleigh loose on it, and he just finished it up this afternoon. We're gonna post it.
Right. Yeah.
It was just nice. It was just good, but I need to get more. You're right. I need to get more footage.
And when you have that B-roll library of your own, let's say that you're getting ready to go on vacation, great, you can crank out. So Gina's video where she did an intro and then it was the photos of all of the murals with where they are and their title. That's kind of a similar example, but those were photos and not video. When you're getting ready to leave town and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm behind on my production schedule and I want to keep my consistency. Great. Hey, editor, can you grab the B-roll of Petco Park and the gas lamp quarter of San Diego? And you can just do a voiceover and then they can insert B-roll of those different places. And boom, in an hour and a half, you've got several short videos to put out. So start developing your B-roll. And it's anything. You walking up to a house, you getting out of your car, make sure your car looks good and is clean. Any other insight on B-roll? Any of you that are into social media and or videos, do you want to add anything further?
Hi, Bridget. It's Davey. My name is Davey Martinez. I'm Lisa Bloom's admin. I've actually been doing the editing for her videos as well. And one of the things that's been really helpful for me, we recently came across a site called Storybooks, which is a stock video site essentially. We've been paying for the cheapest plan for $20 a month, but that's given me access to a lot of stock free video to use. So for example, when Lisa is talking about Lakeshore Drive and you could run, you could walk, I would find clips of somebody with a bike, somebody running, to help kind of fill in that gap. And it's a good place if, let's say you don't have your own, but you need footage to show something right in action. Right. Storybooks has been really helpful for me.
Can you put that in the chat?
Yes.
All right. And so then it's a great combination of video with you in it. Again, shaking hands, walking, talking, taking your coffee order across from a local coffee shop, in the conference room at the market center, going over a contract. So you've got B-roll with you in it. Then you've got great stock footage of the area that you can get from something like Storybooks. And you're going to add variety and interest to your videos. So it's not just talking head. Does that make sense? And then what else? What other challenges or anything else to share? Bill Vernon had brought up that he had been interviewing for editors and he got an estimate that just seemed a little bit out of alignment with what he was expecting. I will say it was a lot out of alignment with what I was expecting. Does
How much
anyone?
was it?
You
It's
gonna
hard
tell them?
it's hard for me to say out loud.
Say it.
$25,000.
And for, okay, for how many?
13.
That's a lot. So I paid $5,000. I'm actually doing a renovation on a duplex, and I'm going to be chopping that up to small parts. That's going to be a huge part of my of the YouTube channel for sure. And I paid I'm paying $5,000, and they're shooting 4 half days with me, and I'm going to get 20 minutes worth of video on top of like minimal breakdowns. I could take the 20 minutes because we're doing some extra B-roll stuff too that they'll be able to provide me. And I paid $5,000. That was a friends and family discount. I think the normal price was $7,500.
Yeah, and I know several of you were able to line up sort of per video, but also a package deal. So a lot of you are paying somewhere between $4,000 and $6,000 for the 100 videos. Some, as Natalie said, it's a length of time with a production crew. I have found, well, and I just can't wait for you guys to start seeing them. Hopefully it will be by the end of next week. An editor that has a flat rate per month. And then there's certain requirements on it. The video can't be longer than 30 minutes for the raw footage. So it's just really, there's a lot of options out there. How many of us, by show of hands, thinks that the 25,000 estimate is way too high? Okay, I don't know if you can see that.
Two hands up for that one too. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It was
I
pretty
will
funny.
say this, I'm getting ready, and I told Bridget, and I'll share with you guys too, if that's okay. I'm getting ready to reach out to a friend of mine who works for the Career Center and runs it at Georgia State University, where I graduated from. And I'm actually going to create an internship for somebody in their marketing or digital department and see if I can go ahead and hire an intern to kind of do that. I mean, obviously we're starting grassroots and starting at the level. So you know, if anybody else wants to kind of jump on that, and we want to get on a call and create a job description or internship description, because I think that's what most colleges are going to ask for.
Sure. So I will say, I have been seeing a lot of interesting videos. Jennifer Walsh, she has an excellent one. I guess it's some tradition in her town that homecoming weekend, the high schoolers toilet paper the neighborhood. So she went outside, and it's this annual event. And she called it the blossoming trees. You know, so it was pretty funny. Many of you have seen Jim's video about the interesting pool incident and house. If you haven't seen that yet, I highly recommend you. Jim, could you put the link to that in the chat, please? And then, oh, you're driving. Jim's driving.
That's okay. Yeah, Nancy, can you do that?
Yeah,
Thanks. Or Vito, can you do that? Thanks.
Perfect. How are you guys doing coming up with topics?
Good.
Everyone good?
I can get better, but you know, it's just sitting down and focusing totally on it now. That's all.
And the other thing is, and I talked about this with a couple of you this week, do not overthink it. Do not get in your head. It challenge yourself to be 1 take Charlie or 2 take Charlie. Do not record the same thing over 17 times thinking it's going to be perfect. We are not submitting for Cannes Film Festival. This is progress, not perfection. So just, get it out there. Someone mentioned, they were really disappointed because they were in a groove and they were getting this great video and then a fire truck went by. Most of the YouTubers I watch will just incorporate that into what they're talking about. Not all of them, but for what we're doing, if you're outside of a listing or you're outside of the area and it's not overwhelming, clearly if it's like right in your face, then stop. But if it's in the distance, don't worry about it. You could even reference it. Hey, you're really getting a feel for what it's like to live here. We have an incredible fire department. Ours is volunteer, blah, blah, blah. I support them. Now, back to what we were talking about, the bridge, blah, blah. So just don't overthink it. Also, your editor will be able to edit some of those things out. Just get the recording, keep it fast and easy, and go. Bill Vernon, who I've mentioned a few times, he's doing an excellent job of being in the moment and getting it done. So he was recording a tour. Uh-oh, do we have to mute someone?
Sorry,
Uh,
no,
so-
no, it was my
okay.
fault.
So Bill was at one of his listings and he was doing an impromptu, hey, you want to do a tour of this house in Waco or where it was? And he's going through, well, his 16-year-old son was in the house and inadvertently got in the shot. Bill's like, yep, oh, and there's my 16-year-old son. And he was like, oh, dad. What? That adds charm. I mean, I thought it was a riot. So just don't overthink it and just do it. Bill, again, kudos, because Bill's just like cranking them out. So if you need a little inspiration on that in terms of just making yourself do it, he's a great one to watch. Gina Walton also has been really good about jumping in and is doing a good mixture of real estate and living in the area, and Gary Nix as well. So, you know, that many of you, I'm looking at the screen right now, many of you are doing a great job. But if you want that little extra inspiration, those are some good ones to jump in on. Okay.
Hey, Bridget.
Yes.
Oh, gosh, I feel so overwhelmed, but I think it's because I have so many social media pages. What I think I heard you say earlier is it's good to get referrals, even if it's not in the part of, in my case, California that I cover.
Yes.
So I hear you saying, perhaps maybe I should shift my channel from Fremont, Newark, and Union City and just say Bay Area. I've been teeter-tottering on that, and the small I in me has been driving me insane. I hate it. I hate it.
In my opinion, I would go broader. Now, if
That's
you
what I
notice,
thought.
like,
Okay.
yeah.
And I don't know that area at all, Jessica. And if I was just looking, Bay Area, I know what that is, but Fremont, I don't. So from somebody that's not from there, it would probably
Yeah.
make more sense.
Well, I chose Fremont, Newark, and Union City because a lot of people that are moving here are moving to Silicon Valley, and they're aware of those cities, but 100% agree with you. I would like to, what do they say? Cast a broader net?
Yes. Yep. Cast a broader net.
Yeah.
Jessica, I
So-
thought you were in New Jersey.
Because of Newark,
Oh.
right?
Me
Yeah.
too. Me
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
That's the funny
Yes.
part.
The
You
East
know, it
Coasters were
is
like,
funny.
yeah, so I'd go Bay Area.
Bay Area.
Yes.
I struggle so much with it because there's Bay Area, then there's East Bay, then there's Silicon Valley, and it's like, I don't know, because California's so
us-
damn big.
For us, there's one area, San Francisco,
That's right.
okay?
And by the way, they bring up a great point, Jessica, because even Fremont, a lot of people, when they hear Fremont, they think Vegas.
Yeah.
So,
You're right.
right. So, you know, almost all of your town names
Or
have-
somewhere else. And I
have
don't want to attract people from San
competition.
Francisco. I don't want to attract people from San Francisco because that's on the over the bridge and their paperwork is way different than ours. You know, I'm happy
I
to
love
do
it.
a
There, I
referral,
don't
but
want those. Guess what? You can refer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just get
Yeah.
a good referral partner wherever you want to. I mean, for me being where I'm from, I would want to know all about whatever Bay Area, maybe, you know, wherever, however big you can be, and then just get some great referral partners and pass them on.
Well, like I was trying to be everything to everybody. I finally went just Boston because most people, because I mean, I could do Cambridge, this, that, and I'm like, no, Boston,
Awesome.
and people will figure it out from there.
But you can do
Okay.
those videos specifically inside of your channel.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You're right.
I'm sorry,
You're
what do you
absolutely
mean? As far as doing those videos in your channel? I missed that part.
So like you could do a Fremont video and you could do a, you know, Newark video. You could do all of that stuff inside of your Bay Area channel, right?
Ah, I got you. Okay.
Basically, you
I
could
would
do
actu-
sections. If you want to break it down, you could do individual sections, living in Fremont, living in,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly
That's a
what
good
Natalie's
point.
saying.
And I just was thinking you could do an awesome high energy video on, oh my gosh, Bay Area is so confusing. What are all these towns?
That's
right?
a
You know, and
good
then you could
idea.
do a total breakdown. All right, I'm going to give you the skinny on San Francisco, Bay Area, and how to look. And then I would go from big to
The
this, you know,
small.
then there's like peninsula, you know, like, so then do kind of the next sections, then do the small. I could see that being a really engaging video.
I love that. So what I'm going to do is I have a Facebook community page that I created for the city of Fremont. And I think that I'm just going to have that page on Fremont, the Instagram page that I have, that's literally the same thing. It's just on Instagram. And then my YouTube. So everything from my YouTube will go to both that Facebook group and to Instagram. And I'm going to change the names to something about exploring Bay Area or adventures in the Bay Area, something like that.
Right.
Okay.
Very nice. That was a great example, by the way. So thank you for asking that, because many of you are in that same boat. Like, how do you chunk it down, make the top of the funnel the biggest, and then come down from there?
We
Can I
actually
ask
served.
one question to the group really quickly? Oh, sorry. Was someone else talking?
No, go.
So I heard some people say they're familiar with San Francisco. A lot of people know San Francisco, but when I say Bay Area, can I don't know, maybe a show of hands or in the chat box, do people know where the Bay Area is if someone were to come to you and say, hey, I'm moving to the Bay Area?
You can't talk to Bridget. She's California.
So Nancy says no, but
No, I go from California, what area, Bay, and then I just go, okay, well, let me find somebody from over there. San Fran Bay to me is the same thing.
I think, yeah,
I
Bay Area,
know.
you're fine.
I know.
And then you could talk from, you know.
I feel like all the Journey fans know where it is.
Awesome. Well, you guys have definitely given me a lot to reflect on, but I'm definitely going to get the Bay Area part switched out, because my husband and I are all over the Bay Area as well. So it'd be great to highlight businesses other places.
And Bridget, one of the things that you mentioned is make it living in Georgia, right? I challenge that thinking. I'm not putting living in Georgia, because Georgia is like, we don't have that many big cities. Like, it's a greater Atlanta area. And then we have like Savannah, like everything else in between that,
Right.
just, you know, is no man's land. So for me, I probably be living in greater Atlanta area, right?
Perfect.
Greater metro
Yeah.
Atlanta, because we have all these
That's
different
right.
cities around there.
Yeah, but
So,
you know
you
what?
know,
I'm actually thinking about living in New England, having a
Yeah.
little section on living in New England, because we have Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, Vermont, New Hampshire. We have all these, I adore living here because of that. So.
I'm learning a lot
Don't do
about
New
other.
Hampshire. I got New Hampshire.
I know. So I was just
What
gonna
was
say,
that? I didn't hear that.
I have clients in Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New York. Yeah, like, so talk about referral partners. You guys need to find someone for me in Connecticut.
Let me promise you, I will never enter your state for real estate. For real
Hopefully
estate.
you'll go there to visit and for seafood.
Thank you.
Oh, I
Send
love
me referrals. I'll send you referrals.
Perfect. Well, we'll connect, okay?
I do have a question, Bridget. So I've been
Yes.
big on doing, well, I don't know about big, I was big, but on doing live videos on FaceTime, right? I mean, on Facebook live videos. I was told that you can download those videos and then use that as, and then creating some videos from that. Because there's definitely a value on the algorithm on Facebook, and Facebook is one of my bread and butters of doing live videos. So if I do something on and just load it into YouTube, I'm probably not going to get the same kind of algorithms to get as many views if I'm taking it from, hey, here's my YouTube video, look at it, versus it being a live video. So I'm thinking every so often when I do a live video, I'll download that and put it in YouTube as well, so I can get the algorithms on both. Would that be a correct statement?
100% yes. Yeah, you
And
definitely
then the
want to do
other
that.
question that I've got, along with what Natalie's saying, you had said that we have to be careful with how many places we put it so that it doesn't get spammed, I guess. I don't know how to say that.
Yes, that is true. However, what she just described is fine. So
Okay.
if she is going to do a live stream, download the live stream and upload that to YouTube, totally fine. So, you know, that you can absolutely do. So that's going to be the fun thing for next week is I am going to do it as a live stream on multiple platforms. And we're going to talk about how you can use live streams. And we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about what Natalie was just going into of how do you promote it, not have it appear as spam, have it in different locations, all of that. We're going to be going over all of that. Okay.
Cool.
So I wanted to give some specific to-dos for this week. Add sections to your channel and do that like within the next 7 days. And you don't have to do all 12. Frankly, I feel like Michael even has, to me, that's a little bit much. However, it was interesting to me and I thought it was a good real example to show you all. So get some sections on there. If you want to do a section and you haven't made any videos about it yet, still create the section. That's kind of like write it down, make it happen, build it, they will come. Because that section will not show up on your channel until you've added videos into it. So you don't need to worry, but go ahead and put it there now. Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
This is a little mini challenge for everybody. If you've been real estate heavy, I want you to do a lifestyle video. If you have been lifestyle heavy, I want you to do a real estate related video. That sound good? Everyone on board? Little mini challenge.
Here.
All right, and then you guys have been connecting with your partners. I want you to really connect with each other. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you watch their videos all the way through, you like them, and you add a comment. If you have a partner that is not participating at a heavy level, please email me and we will get you connected with someone that is very engaged and make sure that you're getting that right level. We did end up making a couple of trios. So for these first 3 weeks, we might have some trios. It's very important to me that you guys are supporting each other in this and that you're getting feedback from someone outside of your echo chamber. So just my challenge to all of you, if you're on this call or you're seeing this recording, is reach out to each other and really support each other. Okay. So you guys need to comment more. I've been going through some of them and I'm seeing some comments. We need way more comments. And even if you watch one of my videos, make sure you just add a comment, and the comment, again, it doesn't even matter what you put. Cool. Thanks for the info. Pretty house. I like your hat. What you type doesn't really matter. Just put something in there. Again, all we're doing is stimulating the algorithm.
Can you do me a favor? Can you send out all of our contact information one more time?
Yes. Keen, can you grab the roster and put it in the chat? And when I send this out, I will include that as well.
Hey, Bridget,
Okay.
doesn't it make sense? We have the 100 challenge with the topics and all that. Could we just not have one spreadsheet that has everything so there's not multiple spreadsheets out there? Because we have one with the contacts, one with the topics, and if we can even have that spreadsheet that has the links to all the videos. Because when I was going back through, because I'm home in quarantine because of COVID, when I was trying to go and watch them later, I couldn't tell which one was week 1, which one was week 2, which one was week 3. It was hard for me to kind of figure that out. So if we had it all in one spreadsheet with tabs, that would be huge. And then all the resources that we have, instead of putting them in on
Can all
chat,
be in one.
be in one, because
I'll do
when
that.
I looked at the videos, I don't see the chats.
I'll do that. Right. Okay. So that sounds good. So we'll merge those into one and get that out next week.
Thank you.
Okay.
And
All
also,
right, guys.
if everybody gets that, if everybody took some time, because I know we're starting to look at topics, start dumping topics in there so that we all have a place where we're just putting it. And I'll create a thing that says notes. So if you're putting something, like I just put something that said top rooftop bars, right? So maybe not right now, but right before spring starts, right? Maybe going and doing that. So and I'm gonna put notes on there saying, hey, I'm gonna do this in the spring, just to get more information. But I think that would be beneficial for us, so that when we have our can't figure out what we want to do, we have somewhere to go and try to find some topics.
Perfect.
And whoever
All right, so
suggested
that sounds
storybooks,
good.
thank you.
Yes. All right, guys, get out there and keep it going. And we're going to keep on the journey, and I will talk to you all next week.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks for setting this
Bye.
up. Great.
Natalie,
Thanks.
feel better.
Thanks, babe.